Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one, the only, Miss Satin Beige. Woo!
If I'm really honest, I
Please
don't know
be.
if it was that way around. I don't know if it was like I was like, music is really what I want to do. I think it was just like the thought of doing anything else just sounded horrendous.
Okay,
I
so
think I was very in my own world when I was little. And I think I used to, I was in my own world. My dad said that I used to kind of make up songs before I could talk. So I remember saying to my friends, like, oh, I want to write songs and I want to sing them. And they just laughed at me.
Okay. Are you still friends with them today?
No.
Okay. You seem like you've gone through a lot of unknowns.
Mm.
When did you get to the point that you knew exactly what you wanted?
I mean, I think...
Ladies and gentlemen, destination established by that first step. And today we're going on the journey with a beautiful singer-songwriter, composer, and a girl that is known as the girl with the cello. She has been round the world in terms of producing, composing, singing, and she has taken her cello everywhere that she has gone. She will be performing on the Korak Live Music Event 11, June 25th. And guess what? She will bring her cello as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one, the only, Miss Satin Beige. Woo! I like it. Thank you for coming, girl. How are you?
I'm very good.
So, thank you for introducing me to Kahlúa.
You're very, very welcome.
This is a journey for me too.
I can't believe you've not.
I've never. This is the first time I'm trying it. It's not too bad. I think if you if you throw in a few other things, it should make some sense.
It's nice like this.
Yeah, well, either way, it's nice with you.
I can tell you all the things that you can mix with that will make it taste amazing.
Tell
more
me
amazing.
Yes, I like it. I like it.
This really sounds like I'm sponsored and I'm not.
Soon. Kahlúa, get your act together. As always, big shout out to Kariba Coffee ambassadors. You can get 20% if you use our code MORETHINGS. Big shout out to Podcast Rooms, Adam and Jamie. One day they should come to our show. One day, just one day. So Korak means footsteps, and each step is pretty much describing a journey that you've been on to get to where you are today. What is that first step that you took that has led you to where you are now? And this is that first step in music.
I mean, I guess probably, I wouldn't remember, but the first, I guess maybe the most important thing is starting to play the cello. Maybe.
Why the cello? It's not like it's a very, well, at least in my part of the world, it's not like it's a very famous instrument. So what actually drew you to that instrument?
So the story goes, apparently, because I've heard different versions of this.
Okay. Version 1.
I'll tell you the one I think is the most accurate.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
My primary school music teacher, shout out Mrs. Bruns.
Hello.
She found a cello that was destined to be burned on the fire.
Okay. What kind of school is this? They're burning cellos.
I actually think it was another school and they said they wanted to get rid of it.
Okay.
And that was what's going to happen. So she rescued it and I was about the right height, right size. So I was 5 at this time.
Okay.
And was a big fan of music, apparently. I think I was quite a quiet child and so it was unusual for me to show enthusiasm about anything. And I guess I was more engaged with music than anything else. And she asked my mum if I would be interested in playing it. And my mum said she asked me and I said yes. But I'm pretty sure at 5 years old, I had no idea what cello was.
Well, I mean, it sounded nice. And so pretty much you started when you were 5. Saw a cello, fell in love, and that's how the story has begun. So you say you've always loved music. Does that come from household, mommy, daddy? I mean, you have a very interesting name, Satin Beige, which is like, what's that? Like, it's like, I think I have a satin pillowcase, or is it a beige one? I can't. I'm confused. So your parents, that it could be both. It could be both. So where does the love for music? Where do you think it comes from?
I mean, I think there was always music playing. I remember vaguely. My dad had quite an eclectic music taste. He still does, but particularly when I was younger, I remember listening to like, kind of, I guess you call it world music. My mom was very much like 80s soul, disco, and then into the 90s like R&B. Also the Carpenters and ABBA. I'm not an ABBA fan, so that one didn't rub off on me.
Okay, but
we had music on all the time, and I think my grandma said that I used to put Classic FM on myself. to go to sleep to. Don't remember this. This is what she tells me when I was like little, probably around 5, 6, 7. My granddad on my dad's side, he played piano. He's a very good jazz pianist. So he would be playing when I was there. But I don't, it's funny looking back on it because at the time it's just, you just think that's everyone's life, don't you?
So you're like a sponge because you play other instruments. Is that something you picked up as you were, growing in the music world, or is that something you started as early as when you picked up the cello?
Well, I actually started on piano. You wouldn't believe it if you heard me now.
No, well, I mean, when I came
did
for your
start on the
show
piano.
and you were like, "Oh, I actually don't play this really well." I mean, which was a lie, but you probably, let's say you play the cello best.
Mm-hmm.
So you started on piano.
I started on piano, not for very long, and then the cello. So I would have been playing. I must have been around 5 as well when I started piano.
A lot of things are happening here when you're
at
5,
5,
man.
and-
This is some bright 5-year-old just doing some stuff. I like it.
I was quite an obedient child. I was very easy to teach, so
Okay.
that probably was it.
That helped. Are you an only child?
No,
Okay.
I'm the oldest of 3.
Eldest 3. So
Yeah.
you, brother, sister.
Yeah. Exactly right.
I mean,
And exactly.
maybe I'm an uncle. Who knows? Maybe distant uncle from the family. So you can play the piano. You can play the cello, obviously.
I wouldn't say I could play the piano. I can play a bit of piano.
Okay, let's add
if
the
there's
a
any
bit.
pianists out there, I don't want them to come to a gig and think I'm going to start playing concertos because I cannot do that.
Well, they don't have to know. They don't have to know. Let's just put it as part of your CV.
Okay.
So the piano, cello, what else?
Guitar. That's entirely self-taught, and it's mostly just cool. I just hear, so it helps me write songs basically. So I learned enough to be able to write songs on it.
Would you, because you can play the cello, did the guitar come easy? I mean, does it work like that?
I mean, I don't think so, but also I only know my own experience. So probably it did help.
Okay.
The one people always say is, "Oh, you should be really good at bass guitar then." And I just got a bass guitar, and I guess it helps me a bit, but I don't think it helps that much. I don't think they don't feel that similar to me. But again, I'm saying this as someone who can play a bit of guitar already, and like I don't know what it's like I don't remember what it's like to not be able to play any instrument. Like that's before my memory.
So how many instruments can you play? So we've picked up the piano, the guitar, the cello. What else? Bass guitar that you're learning now.
I can't play it.
And what else?
That's it.
Like what?
Triangle.
I mean, you say that's it. Like it's something that everybody should be able to do.
Sing. I guess that's a.
I mean that is without a doubt. That is without a doubt. Well, from what we can understand here, your parents very instrumental to the music that you listen to, and pretty much the marvel talent that you have in terms of picking up music. A lot of things that you mentioned that you can't remember at 5. What do you remember of yourself growing up at the time that you grew up? Who was Satin? What was she like?
At what point?
As far back as you can remember.
I think I was very in my own world when I was little. And I think I used to, I was in my own world. My dad said that I used to kind of make up songs before I could talk. So like these things that sort of sounded like nursery rhymes with these words that I really thought meant something but didn't really mean anything. And I feel like, I don't remember that. That feels right though. And then my brother came along. So my brother is 2 years younger than me. And he was my little sidekick, I guess. It was very much dictated. Like he wanted company, and I was very okay on my own. Okay. So it was, if he wanted to play with me, we were playing what I wanted to play. He's gonna feel so validated if he watches this because I feel that's the first time you've ever admitted that. But yeah, like I don't know when this started, but I think we both enjoyed music and like wordplay. We both very much enjoy now. I can't.
So I take it your brother plays music as well.
No,
he
doesn't. No.
Okay,
no, he works in film, but he enjoys
the creativity.
Like, I feel like he and I. That's like one of the things we bond over the most is like finding kind of amusement in language.
How many languages do you speak?
1.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
in English language specifically.
Okay, just checking. Just checking. So when if you put all the things together, elements, and as you're growing up, when did you decide that music was the way forward? When did you think? Where was that point that you said, "This is what I want to do"?
I'm not sure. If I'm really honest, I don't know if it was that way around. I don't know if it was like I was like, music is really what I want to do. I think it was just like the thought of doing anything else just sounded horrendous.
Okay, so before you, what were the horrendous things you were thinking about at the time before music?
Just anything that involved working in an office, anything that involved like a 9 to 5 and the same kind of thing every day. I liked the idea of like doing research, because in my mind that was like, oh, you'll be doing new and different things all the time. But I think I quite like autonomy, and I quite like making things, and I don't love restriction. So I'm kind of like, just let me do what I want to do.
I mean, that sounds like it. That right there is a definition of a creative in terms of, don't box me in. Just let me do what I want to do. But when you, because when you listen to your music and you take elements from different things, and as you said, your parents, expose you to those different situations. When did singing become part of it? Because the cello, yes, you're playing at 5. You pretty much saved the cello from being burnt. But when did you actually recognize the fact that you could sing?
I don't really think of myself as a singer.
Don't worry about what you think about.
But I guess it was more, I wanted to write songs. So that was my
So you just want to be behind the scenes, write music, and that's it?
I didn't know, but the things I was like, I was writing about me, or like my thoughts, my stories, whatever.
This is you in your world at the same time, or
sorry?
Were you still in your world at that point?
What, in my own world?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Okay. This world sounds interesting. I want to get in. I feel like I should just pop in every now and then to see what's happening.
The thing is, I don't like confrontation. And so I think a lot of the time I would feel something or think something and I wouldn't communicate. And then I would put it into song. And the other thing is, like, I was quite quiet at school. And I felt when I tried to talk, I didn't necessarily felt listened to, and that used to just be like, actually, I don't even want anyone to listen to me. But when I was on stage, if I had a microphone, I got to say what I wanted to say, and then everyone had to listen. But also there's the kind of protection of like, oh, but it's just a song. So a lot of my early songs were really miserable. Like, both my parents are like, can't you write something happy? But that's like how I was feeling inside, or these were the thoughts that I wasn't saying to anyone. And so that's what songwriting became. And then the release is like actually singing them.
Do you still not like confrontation?
Yeah, I hate it.
Well, the question is, what is confrontation? Because me, for example, I love a good debate. Mm-hmm. I like an argument. But there's no bad intention. It's just the fact that, number one, it can probably wind people up. I like that aspect. Or I'm defending the point I actually strongly believe in. Mm-hmm. You didn't like any form of confrontation. So once somebody spoke back to you, you were like, I don't want to talk.
A lot of it's like what I think is going to happen rather than what actually will happen.
What do you think is going to happen?
That I'm going to get in trouble, that I'm going to upset someone, that I'm going to get shouted at, that there's going to be some kind of conflict. So a lot of it's like, I don't want the other person to feel bad. I don't want to be the reason that someone else feels bad. I don't want to get into a argument. Like, I don't want to be shouted at. Yeah, anything like that, I don't like. And I think I over-imagine that happening. And so I just say nothing, do nothing. Then I just write it down in a song or a poem.
Okay. Are you would you describe yourself as an overthinker?
I wouldn't describe myself as that, but I think everyone else would.
Okay.
I think I just think.
How would you describe yourself? You just describe yourself as a thinker, you don't put the over in front of it. So how did you go from not wanting to speak to people on confrontation to actually, who made you get on stage? Because if you were putting those words down in songs and you felt that you could just say it, how did you get on stage?
I mean, I was doing that from when I was little. I've never had an issue for being on stage.
So you just dragged the cello and then went on stage?
Well, I think the first times I was singing, so from when I was 4, 5, like they put me in things at school, or if there was a speaking part that was long, they were like, Satin's reliable, because it didn't bother me. Like being I wasn't one of those kids that cried or got nervous. I just did what they asked.
Yeah, nice place you got here.
Yeah, exactly like that. So that never like bothered me. and I was just very used to it. And then playing the cello, I played competitions when I was younger. My teacher would enter me in competitions, and so I was really used to that. And that was like, I always enjoyed that. Like, that was the best bit of playing an instrument, was being able to perform. And I think it's like you get into a flow state and you can just like really enjoy what you're playing.
You said your first songs, your parents said, could you do happy music? So what were your first songs like? What were you singing about?
Oh, it's hard now because I don't sing any of those anymore. Just, I think I look back on it, I'm like, pretty sure I had childhood depression, but I didn't know what that was at the time. And I don't know how well I hid it, but like, I think what came across as me being kind of maybe scatty and tired all the time, all of that. I guess I was depressed. And so a lot of it was just about that feeling of like feeling depressed, I guess. I mean, I don't know how else to put it.
Would you say music cured the depression, or at least softened it?
It is something. I guess it gave me an outlet. I don't think it cured it. And actually, I sometimes wonder if, I don't want to say it made it worse, but it's that it kind of facilitates that process of going over and over and over and over something again to write the song. I don't know how helpful that was always, but it did give me a voice. So I think that probably was helpful.
So in terms of cello music, discovering your sound, have you had any formal or, professional vocal training and all that good stuff that musicians go through? Because you seem like you pretty much just walked into most of the situation. Has anybody actually trained you in this kind of situation?
Not with voice, no. I'm not.
So everything you've been doing is like self-taught on your own, and
yeah. So I had the cello lessons until I was about 10, 11. And then there was a long-ish. There was a period where I wasn't having any lessons, but I would go because I don't know why my brain worked like this. My mum stopped my lessons because she said I wasn't practicing enough.
Okay.
I used to.
Were you not practicing enough?
Probably not, but this is also the point in time. So this is a transition from primary to senior school.
Mm-hmm.
And
turning into a woman.
It wasn't that. It was just that I went from like my school being 10 minutes down the road to it being like an hour and a half on the bus. And that's like both way, or an hour.
Where was this? Where did you grow up?
In Chelmsford. And I went to school in Colchester. My senior school's in Colchester. So that was like a long journey that I wasn't used to. And I think that was like kind of the start of that maybe depression. And so I was tired. My mum couldn't understand this. And I remember her taking me to the doctors and they said, oh, it might be that you've got like low, it wasn't iron, but it was something like that.
Something
we can do
was
a blood
low.
test. And I am terrified of needles. So I was just like, no. So then I would just not go to bed as soon as I got in, because that's what I was doing. So I'd be like, I'm not going to do that now because I don't want a blood test. But I felt so tired. Like I felt so exhausted. So I didn't practice.
You still scared of needles?
Yeah, I'm terrified of them.
Really?
I hate them. Yeah.
Did you get the jab during? No, just simply because you're scared. So if I like pull out a needle, you run away or something.
I won't run. I'll probably freeze and like freak out a bit.
Okay.
And if you brought it close enough to me, I might have a panic attack. Please.
Well, I mean, now I know how to get like your bank card or something.
Oh no, you wouldn't get that.
You want to try? Might bring it.
Maybe I wouldn't. I'd back away.
So
it would take more than that.
So you run, pretty much.
I wouldn't be able to run. I'd feel too weak.
So you change school, going to senior school. Mom says you're not practicing enough, and then did music go on hold at that period, or did you just practice on your own as much as you could?
For about a year, I don't think I touched the instrument. Then it must have been maybe, trying to work it out. So I reckon it was year 9. I'm trying to work out. So there was a period where at my school, the music room was like one of those porta cabins. It was with like no heating. It was awful. Then they built like a whole block where music was. And when that happened, they had practice rooms. And I think at that point, I would borrow the cello sometimes on lunchtime and play. in the practice room. So my mum didn't know about this.
Okay.
But the other thing was I really did not want to be in school orchestra. So like a lot of school was me trying to not be in the school orchestra.
Why?
So because I just
are we
hated
back
it.
to that situation of putting you in a box restriction and all that? Or you just didn't
Even
like
before
the
that,
traditional?
No, I just didn't like it. I feel like a lot of my life has been trying to get out of things like that. I was in a one when I was younger, when I was in primary school, that my mum used to take me to, and I didn't like that either. Like it was really good. Like it was really helpful for me as a musician. It was good that I did it, but I just didn't like it. I don't know. I can't tell you what I didn't like. I think some of it is that I'm not very good at sight reading, and like playing in an orchestra relies on you doing that, which is why it was good I did it.
Okay.
So I actually practiced that a little bit. But it's also all the like people. I always felt like in these situations, everybody else kind of knew each other better. And then I'm there and I don't really want to be there anyway. And then they're all talking about stuff I don't know. And I'm just kind of like, when can I leave?
Well, when you think about it, it probably led you to, because would you class your genre as very R&B? Because you have, as I said, you have all different elements, and there's R&B, there's pop, there's jazz. You have all that. So maybe trying to get away from the orchestra led you to the kind of music you make now, or would you say something else led you down that route?
That might have been some of it. I think some of it is that because I wanted to write songs. That was the thing. So it was like because I like words as well, and I liked the way that. So for a while, I did think I wanted to be a film composer.
Okay.
And I think I liked the idea of it because, I mean, at one point I was like, I want to be a film director. I think I liked the way that, like, with film, you get so much to play with because you've got the visuals and you've got the words and you've got the music and the lighting and everything. And you've got so much, you can create such an atmosphere with that. And to me, that's like magic. And especially like, I used to love reading comic books, and it was that same thing where you could tell the picture with the words and the visual. And it's like, oh wow, you can like enhance one with the other. So I thought I wanted to be a film composer because it's like I can elevate picture, image with sound. But then I did A-level music, and I did a bit for that, and I was like, this is not giving me the same hit as like when I write songs, because I was writing songs at that point. And I wanted to do that, but it was part of me that was like, I don't know if this is really viable. I don't know if this is it's the kind of thing, if you say it to anyone, they just think you're being ridiculous. I remember saying to my friends, like, oh, I want to write songs and I want to sing them. And they just laughed at me.
Okay. Are you still friends with them today?
No.
Okay. Just checking. Just checking. Hopefully. You seem like you've gone through a lot of unknowns. When did you get to the point that you knew exactly what you wanted?
I mean, I think I'm still figuring that out. There's too many things I want to do. I think that's the problem. But I think...
Well, let's start with the ones that you have done.
Okay. So
where did you get to? Okay, you know what? I'm good. I'm pretty okay with this. People actually want to see me perform, be on stage, XYZ. And as I said, you said you didn't particularly think that music was the way, but then eventually it is kind of the way. So when did you get to that point that, I'm going to give this a go?
I think, like, internally, I reckon about... It's really hard, this, like, looking back, because I'm like, am I misremembering? Am I, like, rewriting the story as I say it? And it's possible that I am.
Yeah. Just tell us the one that comes in your head.
Well, what I'm thinking of is, I went to LIPA. What?
Yes, why not?
I studied music at LIPA, Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts. And that idea came about because my English teacher, and I'm pretty sure I was year 9, before GCSE, she said, I might have to go out of the lesson to take a phone call from my son because he's having a songwriting class with Paul McCartney, all words to that effect. And I remember just being like, what? And she's like, yeah, at his uni. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Like, if you get in third year, you do this 1-to-1 with Paul McCartney. And I was like, what is this place where you can go And you can get a degree in writing songs, and Paul McCartney listens to. And I remember typing that in, Paul McCartney University, and up came LIPA. So that idea was in my head from then. And then when I really started like going out and playing my songs, I think I was probably about 17. So this is a while later. And at that point, and this kind of leads to why I started writing songs on the cello. It was because I wanted to go to LIPA. And I think at that point in my head, I knew really that's what I wanted to do. But it was like, I don't really, maybe this is ridiculous. Like, I think I still had the thought of like, maybe this is kind of ridiculous. And at the same time, my A-level music teacher was telling me like, oh, why don't you audition for conservatoire? Which I was like, there's no way I'm going to get into that, because there was all that time I hadn't played the cello. And at this point my music teacher was actually teaching me, because she was a cellist as well. And I just thought, there's no way that I'm like, I wouldn't get in. Like, in my head, I just thought there's just no way.
Do you tend to doubt yourself every now and then? Because you seem like you're doing really good at stuff that you do, but you're like, no, I don't see it that way. Because everything I've asked you, you're like, I wouldn't think it's no. But then you're doing it anyway. So is there a I don't know, angel devil on your shoulder, and you tend to listen more to
maybe
the devil?
Maybe this is what you would call the overthinking. Because it's even like, as I'm saying this, I'm like, maybe
Oh,
I'm
no,
misremembering. Maybe this.
Maybe ideally, I probably.
Maybe. My brain is in maybes all the time.
I mean, I would say I don't think there's anything wrong with overthinking. I think it's like everything else is what you do with it. So, for example, if you start thinking, oh, I'm going to be late, I'm going to be this, if you're going somewhere, I think you should use it in such a way that you make sure you're not late.
Yeah.
So you check that you have everything. So instead of dwelling in the thoughts, just, create actions that match the thought. That's how I see it. Where it becomes a problem is when you overthink yourself to the point that you end up not doing anything. So it depends on what category you put it at. So it depends how you use the superpower of overthought. Some people use it for preparation. Some people don't. But with you, it's a case of, it's almost as if everything you've tried to do, you kind of tell yourself, no, I can't do this, but you end up doing it. So how will you categorize it? If it's not overthinking, because it's definitely not overthinking because you do it eventually. But what's that doubt that you keep, where does it come from?
Some of it's just a personality type thing, but I think it's also my mum, I would say, is the exact opposite. My mum is very sure of herself, even when I'm just like, you shouldn't be. Although I think she says this about me, but I mean, you don't think so. But she is definitely that way. And I think growing up with someone that's like that, and my tendency is to, even if I'm saying, no, I'm sure, in my head, I'm like, am I sure though? Because I start going, well, if the other person is so sure, like if I was that sure, then I'd have to be like at 99%. So then maybe I am wrong. And then I do this whole thing in my head. And so I think that was happening probably all the time growing up, because my mum is just comes across very sure, very certain about things. And so I'm always like, am I right? Was that right? Even if I don't say it, I'm like thinking it. And maybe that's where it comes from.
Where's your mum from?
She was born here, but both her parents from the Caribbean.
And daddy?
He's English.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw them at the Pizza Express.
Yeah, you saw my dad. My mum wasn't
there. I saw some lady that kept cheering you on. I assumed it was your mum. But your dad was definitely there.
Yeah.
So, LIPA. So, would you say LIPA contributed to, the artist that you are today? And did you get to play with Paul McCartney?
I did get to meet Paul. I played him my song.
Oh, I like it. I like it how you have like first name basis. Yeah, I did get to meet Paul. Yeah, I hope Paul is coming for the show on the 25th. Since you guys are very good friends, I would love to have him on Korak.
I didn't even realize I did that until you said it.
So I did play with Paul.
Yeah, we like this.
Yeah, I like it. What was that experience like?
A bit surreal. It's a weird thing, because obviously everyone knows. Well, doesn't know, but you know.
If you're in the music world, you definitely know who he is.
Yeah. And I've seen pictures of him, and then it's like he's there and he's just human. It's weird. It's I don't know. It was just a strange thing. But it was lovely. I mean, in some ways, it was just the same as playing to anyone, because he's just a human being at the end of the day.
No, it's not the same.
But
if they said you were going to do in LIPA, you were going to play a set with MC Sabi Boy from Korak, you'd be like, who's that guy? So it's not like playing in front of everybody. It's playing in front of Paul McCartney.
yeah, but if they said you were coming in to like give me advice on my songs, I would probably treat it the same way.
Okay, so that's how you should treat me from now on. Treat me like I'm going to give you advice on your songs from now till whenever.
It's a funny thing. So I remember I thought, because of what my music teacher had said all those years ago, no, my English teacher had said all those years ago about her son, that it was like, oh, I got into LIPA, so I'll obviously meet Paul McCartney in third year. Nope. Because it's got bigger since that time. And so now they just select
who gets to meet
who
him.
gets to. And I found this out. I was just like, what? I spent £9,000 a year to not meet Paul McCartney. That was what was in my head. So when I met him, I felt relieved. I was like, good. When I told my mum, she was just like, oh, that's good. My mum, not a fan of the Beatles at all.
Okay.
Whereas my dad, big fan of the Beatles, he's like, that's amazing.
I get it. I mean, you know how it's one of those that you, regardless of whether you're a fan or not, you respect what he has done in the music world. So now that you're on the scene and doing your music stuff, traveling Dublin, Liverpool, and doing all this good stuff, Korak. What is the plan? What's the end goal here? Because one of the reasons I'm asking is because you seem like you don't. Do you have a plan, or are you just going along with the journey so far?
Yes and no.
Okay, let's start with the no part.
So the thing is, I need to eat.
Like right now? Or
I need to just in life. So
Okay.
I have to make money, and so now I'm at a point where most of my income is music, which kind of changes things a bit because I'm doing gigs that maybe would have thought before that I couldn't do.
For example?
So like I basically have residency in a restaurant now, in a very nice restaurant. They've got a stage, it's like a cabaret restaurant.
Oh, nice.
And
The food good?
The food's great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Can you get us a discount?
Maybe. I got a staff discount. It's called Nix in Brentwood. They're very good. Hello, if you're watching. But that means that I'm playing there most weekends, which was not the setup before. And also I sing in a tribute band. And so then I tour with them. So this means there's a lot less time now for me to do my shows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like getting the balance right, because it's like those are my main earners. I have other gigs as well. So I have private bookings and things like that. I have other projects I'm involved in as well. But those were more sporadic. Even with the tribute band, there was like a gap in the year which I could rely on, and I knew that's when I will do my gigs. And now that's not there anymore, which is good in terms of I have stability. But I'm finding now that it's like, okay, I have to plan more my creative output and be more strategic. And also I'm now more sensitive to like, this gig's going to cost me. Whereas before I didn't really used to care about it.
Let's just go.
Yeah. And now I'm like, it's because it's not so much it's costing me. It's that, like, say, if it's a Friday or Saturday, I'm losing money probably.
Yeah.
So it feels harder to take that risk now than it used to. So that's why I'm saying yes and no, because I'm like, I have a plan, but I'm also like, I'm enjoying having that stability and earning the money from music. I feel it definitely makes me a better musician because I'm having to play in front of an audience more often. And I'm lucky that I can play my original stuff in, like, at the restaurant. They want me to do that. But it's still, you're in one place rather than like moving around. And that's how I was making connections before.
Speaking about your original music, you have a song dedicated to this beautiful establishment, Kahlúa. Kahlúa? Kahlúa. Tastes good. Tastes good.
Amazing.
When did your love for this guy start? Let's let them know, because we need that sponsorship, right? When did your love for this start?
Do you know what? Ever since I've actually told the story of this song, everyone asks about it, and I'm like, I should have kept my mouth shut. Okay, so
How are you going to get the sponsorship if you keep your mouth shut?
I know, but you're saying how did
your love for it start?
Yeah, I know, but then I have to tell the story.
Oh,
which
we
is
love
the story of the
stories.
song. Yeah, okay. Well, why I say this is because it was an ex-boyfriend.
Well, his name was Kahlúa?
I'm not going to say his name.
Okay, I'll just check it. You don't have to say his name. But his
hope
name isn't Kahlúa.
I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Okay.
I had an ex-boyfriend. This when I was up in Liverpool a long time ago.
Scouse?
He was a Scouser.
Yes.
And there used to be this amazing bar in Liverpool called Django's Riff. It was like a little underground cocktail bar, very cool. And we went in there, and he said to the.
Did you meet him there?
I didn't meet him there. I met him at a gig actually. He was a roadie.
Oh, hello.
Should have known better, shouldn't I? But anyway, so we went to this bar, and he said, "Can I have a Jerry's chocolate milk?" And then I was like, "What is that?" So I tried it. I was like, "This is amazing." And he said, "Oh, it's the Kahlúa. That's what you like. It's the Kahlúa." And I didn't know what this was. So we went back to his, and he like bought a bottle of it, and we got through most of it that night.
As you should.
Yeah. And that is how I became acquainted with Kahlúa, but it's also where the song came from.
Okay. So are you singing about Kahlúa or are you singing about him?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
It's a memory of that night. That night ended up with him because he played double bass a little bit, him naked with his double bass.
That's a very interesting Kahlúa, man, baby. I like it. Double bass and some striptease. Love it.
And the funny thing is, that song, I originally wrote it on the guitar. Okay. And then I transferred it onto the cello. And now I'm like, it always was for the cello. Like, it had to be on the cello.
With your songs, a lot of your songs, are they based on your experiences or other people's experiences? So listening to your catalog, for example, you have Ball Girl, classic tune. I like it. As your streaming is going up, it's me, just so that you're wondering. But would you say a lot of it is based on your experience?
Yeah, most of it. Yeah.
Okay. Are you over Mr. Kahlúa?
Yeah.
You sure?
That was a weird ending to that relationship. We won't talk about it.
Or do you still have slight images of nakedness and double bass? Okay, cool.
No, that's long gone.
All right. I feel like I should just buy a guitar just for that pose. I feel like I should just do that.
Double basses.
No,
covers more.
Okay. Nah, then I'll buy a ukulele then. I'll buy a ukulele just to make sure it's all good. One of the things, so we do like a deep dive, lyrical deep dive with Korak, understanding your message from a particular song. And usually it's like, going through your catalog is like my best song. So I was caught between Midnight World. It's a very good song. I like it. But I also like Being Me. And usually I write down the lyrics and all that, but I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, it's like pressing stop, start. But it describes how people see you based on you being sorry. Thank you. Based on you being mixed race. And sometimes people see you and think you're Spanish, Caribbean, all that stuff. Number one, did you go through any sort of identity crisis that seems to happen in a mixed race world? And how did that lead to you creating that song in terms of I'm just who I am?
Yeah, I don't think I've had an identity crisis. Where I grew up, not so much now, but when I was growing up.
In Essex?
Yeah. And the school I went to, it was like almost everyone was white. And I think my mum said to us when we were little, "Oh, you're mixed race." So it's probably just so we knew what to say if someone asked us. And I look back now, and there's things where I'm like, "Oh, I guess that was like not very nice or a bit racist," but I didn't know at the time. Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But very, very rare. It happened more like when I was older, and away from home, not really in my hometown. It's happened like more recently, I've had it where people have shouted not very nice things at me, but this is like very recent. And but generally no. And because of that, I feel like my idea of like, I guess the blackness in me, like my association, especially with black women, was that they were like successful and overachievers. But that's all I was exposed to, I suppose. And that like basically based on my mum and my aunt, because there wasn't any around, like there wasn't any really around. My mum had a friend called Veronica, who was her hairdresser, and that was the only person I could think. And there was an older woman called Mercy, and that was it. There wasn't really like where we lived. I didn't know them. I didn't see them. So I didn't really have any idea about what other people thought that meant, or not even like any other mixed race people around us. So it was just, yeah. And I also like, then I was very comfortable operating as the only like coloured person in a white environment because I'd grown up doing that. So when I went to Liverpool and I started talking to people there, and their experience completely different.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I'm like actually so lucky, because all these things I'd gone through, I hadn't, but all these thoughts they had about how other people saw them, this didn't happen until like I was much older. And the only time where I guess I had the closest thing to an identity crisis, if you can call it that, was when it was in the pandemic and the George Floyd thing happened. And we were all like locked inside, and this is like on the news, repeat. And I remember seeing Ashley Banjo talking on the news about like his experiences of being mixed race, and I was like, that's nothing like mine. And I think he grew up in Essex or East London.
I think South London. He seems very either South or North. He seems one of those. We'll ask him.
Well, yeah, I can't remember, but I just remember being like, that is so far away.
I mean, not like I know him, but we'll ask him. Yeah.
From like my experience. And then I just started wondering, like, maybe all the white people around me like see me as like mixed race girl, or like their token black friend, or like, and I just started getting in my own head because we were like locked in. And I just suddenly started thinking like, God, I don't see anyone like that because like I've never been exposed to that really. But I don't know what other people think. I just suddenly, that was the only time where that's happened. And then like more recently when people have shouted things, and they usually when you
say people shout things, like you're walking down the street, somebody just blobs out something.
It's usually drunk men.
Okay. Those idiots. Okay. That's
or on the train, I've had it before where someone's they have a discussion telling you that they're not racist, and then proceed to
say racist
things. And I'm like, why did you start this conversation with me? But usually they're always drunk and they're always men.
No.
So yeah, but it's not, I feel like now, I don't know. I think some people are just
daft.
We'll go with that word. And it's like, that's not a race thing. That's just a people thing, you know, and that's how it expresses itself sometimes. I know I'm really privileged to say that, because I know that's not everyone's experiences, but that I always find it like hard, like say if there's like a Black History Month or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, can you come on like talk about it? And I'm like, I don't think that it's fair for me to, because I don't think that I've had to like experience that. And also I don't know, like I say in that song, that people perceive me as all different things that I'm not. So even when they're like being racist to me, I don't know what they're seeing.
Yeah.
So
does it matter to you what they're saying?
Not, well, those people, not really, because it's not like
they're
having any effect on my day-to-day life.
Is there anybody that in your life that you think, how do you see me? And I don't mean like, obviously not your parents or your brother or sister, but in terms of how do you want to be described?
How do I want people to see me? Think kind, maybe.
Are you kind?
I try to be.
Okay.
I don't know. I want to not be making people's lives worse. I would hope that I bring them like something positive. At worst, neutral. Like neutral's okay, but I don't want their life to be worse for knowing me. or for me being in it.
How long did it take you to write that song?
Not long. I think majority of it I wrote on a train ride. I wrote the chorus at the train station. I sent it to my brother and I said, hey, you should do a rap on this. And then he said, you should do a rap on it. And I said, I can't rap. And he didn't reply. So I wrote the rest of the song.
Inspirational, right there. Inspirational. But it's a classic song. Hopefully you'll be performing it at Korak. I mean, I would know if you send me the songs.
I know, sorry. This is classic me, by the way, because I've overthought it. And then
okay.
I've started going like, oh, legit, like, what do I actually have recordings of? Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, everybody said it. I mean, that song should be on there.
Most
Just
of the
saying.
ones that I will do, probably I haven't recorded. I'm really bad at releasing things. Probably not surprised to hear this. Because I overthink.
I
think.
We do not judge.
I think. I go around in circles once I've recorded something.
You need a muse. That's what you need.
No, I don't.
Have you tried it before? Have you tried it before?
Ex-boyfriends.
No, not those types. Not those types of muses. Not those types of muses. I mean, you try that aspect. But try something else. Try somebody. Maybe somebody that's just going to make sure and just tell you exactly what you need to hear, not what you have to hear, and in a different direction. Not the Kahlúa types of directions, like Mr. Kahlúa himself. Well, 3 questions. What's been the most? What would you describe as your most difficult moment so far in your music journey?
Oh, that's a good question. I can't pin it down to one.
The one that comes to head.
One moment. There isn't. Like when you said that, I just started thinking about the most difficult moments in my life, which is not what you're asking. I've gone through periods where I've just not been able to write, and that's scary because I think I've pinned a lot of my identity to output. So even if it's not visible, because actually most of my songs I don't play or share. My set list is very curated, so anything that I will rip a lot of the ones out. 'Cause I'm like, oh, that's not going to make people. That's too sad. It's too depressing. They all stay somewhere else. But when I can't write, when I've gone through a dry spell, I find that hard. Or if there's been times where, actually maybe this, I had a panic attack on stage once. And that was awful because I just never expected that to happen. Well, no one expects that to happen. And then I just started doing that, thinking, well, what if that happens again? What about if I can't do this anymore? So maybe that. But I think it's mostly those dry spells where I think the first time it happened, that really scared me because then I was like, I don't know who I am or what I do, but also I don't know what I like anymore because it was like more than just not being able to write. I don't know who I am. What do I do if I don't do this? Who am I? What do I like? You know, what was the point of my life? I had a bit of an existential crisis. So probably that. I mean, I'm actually in that period now, and I know why it is because it's something I need to process and I don't want to. But now I feel like because it's happened before, I'm like, it'll come back. Like, if I force it, it won't work. Last time, actually, one of the things I did was started arranging. And that helped because it was like, all right, I can do that. I can't write anything new, but I can arrange for strings. And I almost had the brain space to do it because I wasn't desperate to make new things. I've gone way off tangent here, haven't I?
No, the way off tangent, the better. What do you describe as your favorite time in music so far? Other than meeting, Paul.
My favorite time. Oh, there's too many. I couldn't
Just pick one. Pick the first one that comes to your head.
Maybe one of my favorites. So I couldn't pick one favorite overall. One of my favorites is I played in Liverpool 2020. I don't remember now. A few years ago at the Tung Auditorium. It was new auditorium in Liverpool. A sit-down show It's like a break seating for about 200 people. That was really nice because it had been a while since I played in Liverpool, and to go back and to have like a nice big audience. And I did play some songs that I don't normally play then, and I talked a lot about them, and it was the reaction from the audience. And I think I'm not. I have people say like they enjoyed it or they connected with something, but I think maybe it was different because I was playing stuff I wouldn't normally do just because I had a long enough set to do it. And the way that people responded to some of these things are quite vulnerable for me to share, and I wouldn't normally. And those were the ones that people connected with. That was it was quite powerful. It felt quite special. And it was actually why that is also one of my favorite moments is one of my best friends, Rihanna, came and watched me at that. And she started an event based on that.
The narrative.
Because she was like, you were talking between the songs, and telling the stories reminded her of like the songwriting circles that she used to do. And so she started an event basically off the back of seeing me do that. So I'm like, oh, that was a good gig.
What would you describe, what would be success to you in the music world?
I think it will change as I...
What is it now?
Right now, I think if I could make enough money from music that I'm not worrying about money, to support myself properly, maybe buy a place, and be able to tour at least Europe and have enough audience that connected with what I was doing, wanted to see me, so that I could play on big enough stages and like build a band and build a show and all these ideas in my head, that would be success for me. If you ask me at that point, I'll go, I want an orchestra, because I've said this before. I want an orchestra.
Well, we're going to start with the backliners on June 25th. And then from there, we'll build and build and build and get the orchestra. Well, Miss Satin Beige, it's been wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And hopefully as your journey goes on, you shall come back to the chair and we should get to know you even better and better. Till then, people, June 25th, buy a ticket of 10. Come down and see the lovely Miss Satin Beige. Till then, round of applause to the amazing Miss Satin Beige. Yeah. I'm your host, MC Sabi Boy. Till next time, more thanks.